Welcome into the Jam Happy Hour. Hope everybody's been having a wonderful holiday weekend. Let's not let the fun end. Let's keep it going with more wine and music and just getting to know maybe our artists a little bit better today. If you're already a fan of VOLORES, you're in for a treat. And if you are not, you're about to be. So please welcome the duo known as VOLORES to the Jam Happy Hour. Hey, guys.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Jenna.
Greetings from Florida and Napa. And you guys are joining us from Denver?
Yes.
Near Denver,
yes.
Colorado, yeah.
All right. Well, cheers to all of our towns and our cities. And I hope you guys had a beautiful 4th. And thanks for jumping in for what will be an hour of music, wine, conversation, and just getting to know each other a little bit better.
Super excited.
Now,
Thank you for having us.
We love it. I'm going to set the tone. Y'all are married.
Yes.
No secrets here. So
Nope.
I feel like the filters are going to come off and you guys are really going to dive into some real feelings and some real emotions and obviously some beautiful music too. And I love to jump right in on the Jam Happy Hour and just kind of set the tone. So what song would you like to play for us first?
I would love for us to start with All That We Could Need. It's the opener on our album, and I think that it kind of perfectly sets the vibe.
I love it. All right. All That We Can Need. Here's VOLORES in the Jam Happy Hour. Cheers.
Cheers.
See the smoke before the fire, hasten like a gun for hire. Know the ember fell the chase, pieces fit were rearranged. Voice in the sound, dress like a clown, and you waited all your life to feel something right, and bet it brought all that we could need to feel. Anger black as soot and cold, yeah, the seams fill the soul. Days are lost within the hour, down in faith and quick to sour. Voice in the sound, dress like a clown, and you waited all your life to feel something right, and panic brought all that we need to feel. Broken souls that constant roam, struggle must to build a home, but we alone are all that we can need, all that we can need. Rooted deep within this space, just another choice to face. And you waited all your life to feel something right, and panic brought all that we could need to feel. Broken souls that constant roam, struggle must to build a home, but all that we can need.
All that we can need from Valores here in the Jam Happy Hour, and a great way to kick off the hour. Again, thank you so much for being here with us. I was reading about Ages, and which is the album that is out, and apparently it's something that took a long time to kind of craft and come together. What was the whole process of? I know Shelby, you'd been working on the songs for quite some time. But then, like, how did we get from "Hey, this could be fun" to "It's out, you're touring it"? Like, what's the small story on a very big project?
I would say, in as little words as I can, yeah, I had been working on these songs for a long time. When we met, we were both musicians doing our own thing. And
Hmm.
when you're two musicians married to each other, you kind of skirt around that idea of doing music together for a long time.
Sure.
So it really wasn't until COVID hit that, everything kind of halted. And all of a
Right.
sudden, we're sitting at home with all this time and energy and creative, like, inspiration and excitement on our hands. We want to get back to it. That we looked at each other and we're like, why aren't we doing this? Like, let's take these songs.
We're
and
here.
We're here, and so we really started working them. And before we knew it, we had 12 songs that we were ready to put on an album. We recorded down in Sonic Ranch in El Paso, Texas, and
Which is iconic for anybody who hasn't like looked up Sonic Ranch. Like, write a note, Google it later,
yes.
Yahoo it if you have to. A lot of really amazing music has come out of Sonic Ranch. So, how did you settle on that was the place where this was going to come to life?
I had worked there in the past, and when we were kicking around ideas, I immediately said, "Oh, there's Bean with her cameo
Is it the
on our
cat?
mixing board." Yeah,
she is our cat on the mixing board.
So
if
happy.
she ends the show, sorry.
We're trying.
I
It'll
had
be a
worked-
catastrophe.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Ah,
Come on.
boom.
Uh,
Perfect.
and when I mentioned Sonic Ranch to Shelby, and she, I believe, looked it up and saw that many of her favorite artists had recorded there.
Oh my goodness.
She,
yes.
I think, was on board.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it truly is. And I've been very blessed to have recorded at many amazing studios around the world. And this is
Yeah.
absolutely my favorite. And it's not
That's
a far
strong.
drive from Denver. So Tony, the owner, took my call immediately and was able to work within a very DIY budget to help us, create our art inside
That's
of his
awesome.
art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan has a little side gig known as the Flogging Mollies, which definitely was taking up a very large chunk and still takes up a very large chunk of your time. But like Shelby was saying, like all of a sudden during the pandemic, you're home, and I'm not, we're not having a therapy session, but I know for like a lot of couples that travel, and travel's a big part of their job. I was on the road, I mean, not like you, but I mean, obviously I traveled a lot for work too. In that moment of like, hey, we're both here, let's do something together. At one point, were you ever like, you're still here? Don't you have somewhere else to be? And did it get to a point where you're just like, okay, we're gonna dive into this creativity because it's gonna be our happy place?
I
Truthfully.
don't know if that's how it felt. It was such an interesting time, and there was so much emotion wrapped up into it.
Mhm.
And my plate was very full with Flog and Molly, of course, and I had some, my solo project I was doing,
Mhm.
and I guess I can only look back now in hindsight, and what it did is it kind of really made me kind of stop and assess and reprioritize on many
I
levels
love
of my
that.
life. And Shelby is a very talented artist, and she'd been writing these songs, and these songs were just so on time in my soul. I mean, she was writing about like genuine, deep, kind of personal, emotional, mental health struggles, and that's where I was at.
Yeah.
I was no longer, I no longer felt I had the ability to like fix the world. It was like I just need to survive and make
Right.
sure that I'm my best self for the
Yeah.
family. And her songs that she had been writing were really just nailing that. and it inspired me. It really, like, when my soul was in the gutter thinking, I don't even know what I want to do.
Right.
Being inspired by my first love, which is music, again, in
Yeah.
this new, partnership. I mean, I'm so grateful for it. And we've just taken it very seriously, and
Yeah.
just, we work on it every day, and it's like our COVID baby. Yeah.
Oh, you had a COVID baby. It just
We
happens to be
did.
12 songs.
Yeah, VOLORES.
And I
A
love
beautiful
that.
brand new album.
So many people were struggling with so many things during all of that it sounds like the timing on it was absolutely perfect. And Shelby, you were already working on these songs. I mean, how did you feel when it was like kind of all coming together in this very unique space that we were all living in?
Oh, impatient. It was, I will
That's
say
a very
that.
honest answer.
It is. I can laugh at myself now because now it's out. But at the time, man, there were real tears being had over these songs where I'm like, oh my God, I know there's a right way to do it. But like this, I've sat on these for so many years, and now they've come together in such a beautiful way. And in like this sound we created, I really do feel like hits on all of Nathan and mine's influences, like what we love about music. And so then you create this thing that you love, and you're like, I want to share it with the world. But people are like, whoa, there's a way to do that. And then you're like, as an artist, you're sensitive. You're like, what do you mean there's a way to do that? I want it now. So, it was exciting. It was really exciting. It led to, I think, some being a little bit impatient, which was kind of, we can laugh about now, but
Yeah.
I really do think we went about it the right way.
I mean, it sounds like it. And sometimes you just have to let it, let things fall into place where they may, because a lot of times it's just divine timing and we really have nothing to do with it anyways. So you're just kind of along for the ride.
Exactly.
But I do want to talk distribution. I do want to talk about how things changed, during that. I definitely want to hear about your influences shared and separate. But again, it's the fastest hour we do here, and we're already 12 minutes in. And I think it's time for a second song with a setup like that. What song would you like to play for us next?
This is my favorite one to scream at the universe, I say all the time, and it's called Carrion Cry. If you have YouTube and you're so inclined, go check out who I call Nate Ferratu. We basically did a music video for this song where we paid homage to Nosferatu, the original F.W. Murnau's Nosferatu. And I think Nate does a great job being a horror icon. It's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Well, that's a setup right there. All right, let's jump back into the Jam Happy Hour here with VOLORES. You guys take it away.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Where there's a light in all the voice, dark corners creeping, quiet trust, save for the tamed and easy prey, feasting of flesh in slow decay. It's just death, don't be afraid. Carry on, cry, broken and divine. Scream, I'm alive. It's not my time, not this time. Vultures will pick through flesh and bone. Crisis consumes what's in your soul, whispering words of seething doubt, viciously pull these insides out. It's just it, don't be afraid. Carry on, cry, broken and divine. Scream, I'm alive. It's not my time. At this time, I am alive. And this voice is mine. I am alive. And this voice is mine. It's mine. It's carry on, cry. Broken and divine. Scream of the life. It's not my time. Carry on, cry. Broken and divine. Scream of the life. This is not my time. Not this time.
Nice one, baby.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
It's a very clever play on words too, though, you know? Like there's a
Thank
lot
you.
going on in that. So I did look at the video. That's quite an amazing thing that you've pulled off there.
Isn't it
And
amazing?
Nathan, I did not know you should have been a horror, actor. That looked like it was a lot of fun to make though. It's very it's black and white, it's stop action. It's like a really cool thing. What was the process of putting that video together? Because it seems like you guys had a lot of fun.
Oh, we definitely had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was always a dream of mine. I grew up loving zombie movies and kind of classic horror.
Yeah.
I've never really been into the actually scary stuff. I think it scares me and I have too much anxiety for that. But
Yep.
I like the cheeky, kind of campy old stuff. And it's always a dream of mine to be like an extra in Dead Alive or Evil Dead 2 or something. So,
Right.
When we came up with the concept, we were working with this really amazing director named Steven, and his company is Abysmal Productions.
Stephen Shea at Abysmal Entertainment.
Abysmal Entertainment, and
Yep.
he loves horror as well. So
Perfect.
when we came up with the concept, we kind of had the concept, in our heads, and we shared it with him. He just lit up. It was like, oh my God.
I have the perfect place for that. We could totally do that. And it was like like-minded individuals meeting and just creating the most ridiculous, awesome video. I think it
Yeah.
was a great.
It's so much fun. And one fun story is, we had the makeup on. Shelby did her own makeup, but I was the guy getting the makeup put on to
Right.
become Nosferatu, Orlok, and we were very hungry, and so we went. This is North Hollywood. We went to just like a little 7-Eleven to get like a microwave burrito, anything to eat. It was a cold day,
Something.
and it was so amazing because there I was in all this gear, and not a single person batted an eye at me.
So
No.
Hollywood.
You know what I mean? If I walk around here like Colorado, people be like, "What the hell?" But
What are you
Yeah, it was
doing?
great.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, it's no big deal. If you were kind of listening along to the lyrics, and it sounds like, carry on, cry, but that's not actually what it's titled. It's carry on, not like baggage, but explain what a carry on is.
So carrion bird is a vulture. It's a carrion animal, eats the decaying flesh of a dead animal, right? Like
Mhm.
those are carrion birds. And so it is a play on words in that, a carry on cry as you feel like these pieces of you are dying and kind of decaying off of you. Accept it. Don't fight it. It's change. It's life, right? It's
Mhm.
just death. Don't be afraid. Like the death of things can be beautiful. It's a part of the natural cycle of life because it creates the opportunity for rebirth and regrowth.
Yeah.
And so as any individual, I think in the world, I struggle sometimes. And I think that I needed, like I said, it's my song to scream at the universe, because when I am feeling it and I'm feeling the pressure and the weight of everything,
Mhm.
to scream my carry on cry, to keep going, to keep pushing forward, to let the dead fall off, let the change happen.
Yeah.
That's the kind of gist of that song, I think.
I think it's such a great message too. And I think, so many people get stuck in the, like, I want everything to stay the same. I don't like change. I'm afraid of change. Everything's going to be different. I don't know how it's going to be, like, and all the anxiety that comes along with it too. And when you can find a story like that in a song that you love and you can share it in that way, I think it's really cool because you guys are you're putting it out there. You're really not hiding anything. And you've been that way, like in everything that you're doing. But musically, when somebody can take it with them in their phones or on their playlist, that's a powerful thing. Do you ever think that you're literally helping somebody get through the same situation that created the song for you?
I hope so. I hope there are people out there that listen to that song and find the help and the beauty and the message in it, right? I know that you with Flogging Molly, I know that your guys' songs, you've experienced that. And I think that for Volores, I think we'll also experience that. It is such a brand new album. I mean, I can't say that anybody's come up to me and said that just yet, but
Well, our first tour is coming up. So
that's true. Our first tour is coming up.
And I can
though,
tell you
so-
right now, Shelby, that song does that for me. That's my favorite
I
song.
help my husband.
And so if no one else is moved and helped by it, I am. So there you go.
Well, I mean, I am too. And obviously everybody here in the gym, happy hour. Like it's one of those songs that just kind of hits a chord of like, yeah, like people can relate to it on their own level, which is the beauty of music. Like you can write something and you can have a story behind it, but once you let it go, once you let that COVID baby out into the world or your musical baby or whatever, it becomes something else to everybody else who hears it. It's like the telephone game, it's like it's gonna change, it's gonna grow, it's gonna end up somewhere different. But the message that you put out into the world is obviously a beneficial one, and a musical one. It's actually pretty freaking cool too. So now you get to go out and tour it.
Yes, and that's baby's first tour is what I keep saying. Baby's first tour,
and it starts tomorrow, y'all. So it's like, thank you for being here with us. I would be like freaking and packing and doing all the things and wrapping cables and all that stuff, but. You're here. If you guys are in New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Washington, I know Portland, Oregon, it's going to be a great show for sure.
Yes.
There's a little bit of LA in there, some Vegas in there. Like, what are you looking forward to most about getting out on the road, not only to finally tour these songs, but you get to do it, together?
Yes,
Exactly.
that is the thing I think we look forward to the most is that, we spend so much time apart. Like when he goes out on the road with Flogging Molly, it's one of those things that, I know what I signed up for and
Right.
we have our ways of dealing with that and it's great. But the thought of actually doing the same exact thing that we both love just together is perfection, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, and it's a beautiful time of the year and a beautiful part of the world, and we have our little tour van and we're the captains, and our drummer is a very
Oh, that's right. It's the three of y'all heading out.
Yeah,
so.
Yes.
we play as just like the album. We're a 3-piece rock band. I mean, we like to call ourselves mountain goth, but really, I mean,
I do want to dig in on what that actually means because I think mountain goth and it's maybe something different from what you think.
We've heard that from other.
Yeah, we've had people
reactions.
we've had reactions from.
I'm from the
people.
South, and that could be any
Right.
number of things.
Of course. And so when
Right.
you hear dark Americana Gothic, that's like somebody would be like, is it that? And I go, kinda,
Not really.
but not really. And that's the thing. Like there's a couple songs on there that could be considered that, but it's not completely that. And so people would ask us all the time, what is it? Like how does it sound like? What's the genre? And we couldn't just be like, oh, it's a rock and roll thing. It's indie rock. It's Americana. It's so hard to know. So we just started joking, like it's mountain goth.
We live in Colorado. We're in the mountains. We joke.
It's a
around
little
that we're all
dark.
goth kids.
It's a little dark.
We're goth kids at heart, and it does have that post-punk kind of indie rock feeling to it. I feel like, and a little bit of that dark Americana Gothic feeling as well, and blend that and make mountain goth.
I mean, to me, like,
I love it.
For me, my whole career thinking about genres has really been like boring. It's nothing I ever considered.
Right.
Like I identify as a punk rocker because I believe punk rock means thinking for yourself. That's why I decided as a young person to identify with punks, that and plus my environment, and I'm very grateful for that. It's changed my life for the better and introduced me to a great community and culture. But I've never
for you, it's not so much a sound; it's a culture.
It's a culture. It's a feeling. And like I remember, like trust me, I've been in the punk rock world my whole life, 30 plus years as a professional, or at least a musician.
Right.
And I've dealt with the punk police my whole life, and like it
Yep.
just doesn't scare me. Like, I don't care. Like, if for some people, if they think punk is a religious cult and they all think and dress the same way, it's like, that's your version, not mine.
Right.
So, so if people get offended by us calling our sound mountain goth,
Offended.
I
Can they
It's
not?
so
But
funny to me. I'm like, you're
the
offended
joke for
by
me,
something.
I've got two punchlines. One is, the only thing scarier to me than the punk police is the goth police. And second is, Friday, I'm in love.
The Cure, right? Like, and that's
they were
the thing.
just here last week. So
favorites.
fantastic.
And
that-
that's what I'm saying is that, like, you're gonna tell me that A Forest doesn't sound different than Friday I'm in Love, like, and like two totally different sounds, but The Cure is still as goth as it comes. It's post-punk as it comes.
To me.
And to me too. And so it's so funny when people try to police what you call your sound as if it affects them at all in their day-to-day life. So
well, I mean,
you just
that is a
come back
rabbit
and-
hole we can
Yeah.
totally jump down.
It's better to avoid. I don't know. I think
we're
it's
gonna
the
stay
wine
up here.
talking. Yeah, the
Yeah,
wine
yeah. I'm
talking.
not ready to yeah.
I saw you pouring that butter cab, by the way. So
I'm really
cheers
into
to
it.
you
Cheers
on
to
that.
you, too.
It's so good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so super good. So
So
while you
great.
guys sip on that for a second, I just want to reset and say thank you, everybody who's watching along here in the Jam Happy Hour. We are thrilled to be here with Volores. Nathan and Shelby are jumping in the night before their tour starts, no biggie, and playing some tunes and getting to know them and us a little bit better. So thank you. If you're enjoying this, make sure you're following us. If you're enjoying the music, please add Volores Band to your playlist, likes, hearts, whatever platform you're on. Every little click, it matters so much. You may think it's just you hearting a song or adding it to a playlist, but it really does get seen and it gets noticed, and it starts a butterfly flutter over here, creates a playlist over here. So share the music that you're loving, and especially if you're enjoying the message behind the songs. Feels like a great time to roll into another one here in the Jam Happy Hour. What would you like to play for us next?
Proper Icarus. Yeah, another one that if you listen on the album, man, this one just fell together. And it's one of my favorites, and that's all I'll say.
Okay, Proper Icarus here with Volores in the Jam Happy Hour. You guys take it away.
Point to the sky with pain and pride. Fear never shows behind those eyes. Started a war, but still you saw. Never to say that you fucked up before. You never fucked up before. Proper Icarus, you're too high to come off that horse that made you. Given the world, but you wanted to fly, so you took to the skies to see. Only your fate, only your face wasted away. Makeshift dreams with wings to match. Mother's love, a father's craft. Hated the days that your old man would say, "Oh, this won't go your way, no, this won't go your way." Never could burn brighter than the sun. Proper Icarus, you're too high to come off that horse that made you. Given the world, but you wanted to fly, so you took to the skies to see. Only your fate, only your place wasted away. Melted down straight to the bone. Underneath, it's all you own. How could it be out of humanity? You were wasted on me, you were wasted on me. Ever could burn brighter than the sun. Proper Icarus, you're too high to come off that horse that made you. Given the world, but you wanted to fly, so you took to the skies to see. Only your fate, only your place, wasted away. Never could burn brighter than the sun. How could you burn brighter than the sun? Never could burn brighter than the sun. How could you burn brighter than the sun?
Nice one.
Nice.
You talk about, taking it on the road, and you've got your road family, and obviously you have your own family. Like how hard is it to balance, being not only a married couple, you have kids, you've got family, you've got responsibilities, and now you also, have this other family that you're going to be responsible for as well. Like, do you ever think, whoa, or do you think like, yeah, we got this, let's go?
That's how I feel. It's like, again, being very, I don't mean to use the word blessed more than once, but I
If
really
you're
feel
feeling
that
it, you
way.
should.
I really do. And I feel that way. And having, being so lucky to have the children that we do,
Hmm.
it's like when you have more than one child, your love isn't divided in half, it
Okay.
just grows, right? It just grows. And that's how I feel about this family, this music. It's part of the story. It's part of who we are. And it's part of who our kids are even,
Right.
this is what we do. And this isn't a hobby for us either. This is really
Right.
who we are and what we do. And we spend we spend more than 40 hours a week working on this. This is,
Hmm.
Yeah.
even when I'm, again, so lucky to be touring with my other family and flogging Molly around the world.
Hmm.
We're working on this every day, I got to go, babe. I got to go do sound check or whatever.
Yeah.
But, we come back to it. We're constantly, it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
So mentally now you get to flip the script on everybody. Now you're going to be like sound checking Valores and be like, yeah, I got to go sound check. Like,
Yeah.
or, the kids are going to be on the phone. You're like, sorry, got to go to merch. I mean, it's like, it's going to be a very interesting, I look forward to talking to you after the tour and being like, okay, tell me, how was that? Is it what you thought it was going to be? Like, I mean, obviously it's really exciting to get to go on the road with your love and do what you love. That's just, you talk about blessings.
Yeah.
That right there is that. But I'm interested to see how it's all going to flow. And then obviously it's so important to be doing what you love and what you're passionate about in front of your kids so they can see that, yes, it's okay to, buck the system or buck the trends and do what you want to do and make it happen and find a way to work hard at it and make it happen. That is such a huge lesson.
Yeah. And I think, gosh, our kids have already kind of recognized that. Our oldest daughter, she is in LA. She's a dancer. She's been in dance her whole life. And man, she decided right away, she went, nope, I'm not doing anything other than moving out to LA and starting my dance career. And she has done amazing things already. In her first year of being out there, she danced for Billie Eilish at Coachella. Like
Wow.
she really is making it happen for herself. And I think it is honestly because she's watched her dad for so many years just say, no, I'm going to do it this way. And she
Mhm.
said, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it my way. And I love that.
I hope so. And I believe so. And, Jana, I think you said it. That's been the biggest thing that's helped go through the missing every birthday, the missing every
Mhm.
holiday, the amount of sacrifice that it takes to be an independent artist, to
Yeah.
do what you love. And, there's no guarantee that it's going to work out, but still, like, in my heart, I always believed as a young father that at least I'm showing my children, I hope I'm showing them that they're learning that it's worth pursuing your passion. Like,
Mhm.
if nothing else, if they can believe that, then I feel like all the sacrifice has been worth it,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest lesson too. And that's what you hope for. Like, there's no handbook when it comes to parenting,
Right.
touring, creating, like you're literally just going on a wing on a prayer and, trying to do your best at it too. And as you are on the eve of the next level of Valores, where do you see yourselves a year from now, 5 years from now? Like, where do you see this project going?
Well,
As-
I
Well, the
I've always,
project, you're married. That's the project.
well,
I mean,
I've
that's the
always,
first one.
in my heart, I've always, and it might come off the wrong way, but I've always attempted to align myself with the best people in art that I could. I've, you know, I like collaborative music as a bass player.
Sure.
I love playing with others. You know, I love playing with songwriters and drummers and other musicians. But I've never done anything thinking, oh, this is just for fun. Like it's just not who I am. Like
Mhm.
I have fun doing what I do, but I've
Right.
always been very passionate and serious and focused. So
Yeah.
from my point of view, so this is nothing different. You know,
Mhm.
like this is something that's real. It's again, like music saved my life. This is part of that story. These songs are still
Continuing.
getting me
Yes.
up in the morning and keeping me positive, and so
And just
Aw.
keeping that creation and that love and that passion at the forefront of it all. And I
Right.
think that where that leads us is just going to be beautiful regardless of where we land.
I'm loving y'all. This energy is so good. But it's
Husband
true,
wife
though.
energy. That's
and
what I'm
wine,
saying.
wine.
And
I'm
wine.
Oh,
true
you're my
syrup, right?
emotional man. He's over here tearing up.
But you know,
Uh,
but the energy is, it's not so much husband and wife, it's team.
It
And it's
is.
like it's
Yeah.
It's a
clear that you
partnership.
guys are like a team across the board, and especially musically. Do you think approaching this music and creating this music together, because you obviously are super in tune with each other, but do you think the music is better served by that too because you are so connected?
Yes, I believe so. I'll be the first to speak on that. I mean, when you are your most vulnerable self in creation, it's hard the first time you want to bring that to somebody and say, I did this thing, and what do you think? Right. And that
Right.
could be in any band situation, any type of songwriter is going to feel that way. But to have your best friend, your partner, the person you trust the most that you can be your most vulnerable with,
Right.
being the one who you're bringing it to, it does create this raw realness that is safe and dangerous and all at once, right? Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it,
Safe
it,
and dangerous. Yeah. No, I get it.
yeah, it's to not sound a little ridiculous, but it is
True.
because I feel so good coming to him with these songs, also knowing that like they can be completely torn apart by him and it would be okay. And like
'Cause you
that he
trust him.
has, yeah, because I trust him and he has the best like interest like of the band in mind, best interest of the band in mind.
Yeah.
Right.
That yeah,
Collectively
collectively and I
and
think
independently.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a bit nerve-wracking collaborating. To me, that's one of the, it's very challenging to collaborate. There's definitely a lot of trust involved. Um, and it's also like for me, I as a bass player and a co-songwriter, and of course I am a songwriter on my own right, but
Mhm.
I take it really seriously to be able to give criticism, constructive criticism, or
Yeah.
inspiration. But it's there's so much psychology involved. You can't like come out with someone and go, I don't like that. You have to say,
Oh, 'cause that's
well,
gonna go over great.
right, because it's an emotional thing, and like I know I myself can shut down immediately if I feel
Right.
attacked or something, and I'm vulnerable, and like all of a sudden I get put the tough guy leather jacket on and don't mess with me, and
Right.
but
we know each other's nuances, right? And so we know how to come at each other with like, hey, so that part of the song, not liking that, like, and just, but it's gentle and it's good and it's trusting and
And if this is the music that's coming out of it, I mean, you really have got to sit back and go, wow, like how many more songs do we have in us? Like, that's going to be a
infinite.
pretty exciting thing.
I mean, Shelby's a very prolific writer. She's a poet. I think words were her first muse in a way, right?
Mhm.
And I just think as long as you put an effort out there, music to me, it's like I think Iggy Pop said it best. It's like it's like always flowing, like a meat through a tube or a rusty pipe, and we're the
Right.
rusty pipe, and music is the
Mm.
meat. And yeah, we'll get a little bit of
Interesting.
our rust in it, but the less that we get in it, probably the better, right? But that's like I don't get it.
Just
I
let
just
it do
feel
its
like
thing.
Oh,
it's always
Iggy.
flowing, right? So as long as we honor music and do our best to connect to it, it's infinite, right?
Yeah.
It is. Well, and it's timeless too. And especially like with musical trends, like there are a lot of like new kids coming out today and pop with some old sounds. You've got like some really interesting influences. Like the rock radio that you hear today, vastly different than rock radio that we heard, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Everything is cyclical, everything is changing, everything is constantly evolving. And I think, the music, your music will do the same too. And especially as you get like more comfortable with the fact that you guys can like really make something so powerful, and whether it's connecting to somebody's mental health or whether it's just connecting to with a really great bass line, like these things are like so important, each little step. So what has been your project is now going out into the world, in something completely different. And then if you do get a chance to check them out on tour, please go and do so. Everything's listed on their website at valoresband.com. But I want to jump back to the music here briefly because we've got like 20 minutes left and this goes by so fast. So what would you like to play for us next here in the Jam Happy Hour?
We're going to slow it down a bit. This song is our closer on the album. It's our kind of acoustic sappy song, and it's called
Beautiful song.
it's a beautiful song, but I laugh because it's called Glass, and it is a sap song for
This
sure.
is the first song that Shelby played a demo for me. And I thought to myself,
This is one of the oldest songs I've written.
When
yeah.
she played this song to me, I really, it resonated in my heart. I was like, okay, this is good. This is something I'm interested in working with.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'll leave,
Yeah, I like that.
It's true.
I think that's great too. And it's like, and what I've learned already just from like, the handful of songs and like this time we've got to spend together, there's always more meanings behind every word and every title. So I look forward on the backside of Glass to break this down with you. It's Volores in the Jam Happy Hour, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Just gonna go ahead and slide these off because
know the road to home beneath your shoes, heel to toe with nothing left to lose. So the soup I'm screaming of the day, buried deep in folds of mind and tread. You're living in the glass again, flip and scrape with bad amazing taste. Right on cue, it's just not you. Your love accentuates your pain regrets, and your words are weaponized with empty threats. But I know love should never feel so cold, built upon a ledge you can't withhold. You're living in the glass again, flip and scrape with bad amazing taste. Right on cue, just not you. you're right on cue. Just not you. Know the road to home beneath your shoes, heel to toe with nothing left to lose.
Shelby and Nathan, it is Valores here in the Jam Happy Hour with us this afternoon or evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you so much for joining us and enjoying the music and sipping on the wine and telling some fun stories. And I have to tell you, I'm multitasking. I'm over here texting with my friend because your vocals, Shelby, it's a very reminiscent sound, but it's also a very, unique sound too. We're throwing names up like Mazzy Star and Patti Smythe and Florence and the Machine. Like, who did you grow up listening to? Because I'm trying to pinpoint this
love this
sound I'm
question.
hearing.
Oh, 90s alternative rock. That is my jam. I love Alanis Morissette.
Alanis was also
I love
mentioned. Yeah.
Chrissy Hines.
Also mentioned. Yeah,
Defenders.
we're on it.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things that I think I just grew up to like listening to power vocals from
Yeah.
females and if they're females,
Garbage,
women,
Hole,
beautiful.
like-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shirley Manson from Garbage. We were just
Totally.
talking about her today. That like I love these really powerful women, and but the flip side of that is that I think my vocals have strengthened after creating this project because
Yeah.
of the vulnerable parts that aren't just belting all the time and that are a little softer or more
Yeah.
sweet, because Nathan challenged me to do that. But when I first started singing and we would have these songs, he's like, everything is always way up here. Why are you always way
Right.
up here? And he's like, I love the sweetness in your voice, have the dynamics. And so it challenged me to start writing these songs that way, where you're waiting for the build, you're waiting for
Very
the kind of
interesting.
big release. And it's only, I think, served the songs in the best possible way.
Yeah. I mean, as growing up, listening to that music, you're screaming it. You're right. You're like screaming it in your headphones, like somebody gets me, and like you're all angry. And then like when you find yourself in that situation where you get to kind of create it, like Nathan's right. Pull it back. Be more gentle. Be softer. Because the reason why we love those songs so much when we were first hearing them is because that was that softer side that resonated with us.
Yes, exactly.
Not realizing that's what it was.
Right. Yeah. It is the dynamics of it. It's when it hits, and it hits so deep in your chest, and it's big and it's powerful. It's that it led up to that moment, that it was such anticipation. And then when it hit, it would feel like a release. And so
Sure.
you really just kind of like think, oh, it's all about that part of the song, until somebody kind of says to you, it's not just about that part of the song. You have to get
we could jump into this correlation that I think we're all picking up here right now, that, sometimes it is about the buildup. It is about the building, the creating, the layers, the trusting the process, being in the moment, not thinking ahead, staying right in that pocket, so that when that does happen, whether it's that great screaming lyric, or it's when, those notes hit, or when something else in life may happen, that you're like, you literally can just be in that big moment because you grew to get there.
Yes.
Shelby
in so many ways.
quite often reminds me in certain situations to get out of my head. And I think that's the best advice, really. And she knows me, so she knows that I need that advice sometimes.
Yeah.
Get out of your head. Like, oh, you're in your head. You're not here with me. You're not actually here in the moment. You're in your head. And and I'm guilty of that a lot. And but that's something I've worked on. And it's funny because like I'm a big, huge fan of reggae music. And I've grown up.
Talk about getting out of your head.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you, but the reason I bring that up, other than I love talking about it, is that I think a lot of people listen to reggae and their head tells them, oh, this is very relaxed music. And they go to play it, like a musician will go to play it, and they play it very relaxed. And I don't mean actually relaxed is the wrong word. They play it very lazily because
Oh.
it's slow tempo and it's like, oh, let's just smoke some weed in one drop, whatever. But
Mhm.
when I listen to like my favorite band of all time, it's the Wailers, Bob Marley and the Wailers, the old Upsetters band, Lee Scratch
Yeah.
Perry's old band. These musicians are playing with full intensity and energy, and that energy creates this thing that makes you want to chill out on the beach or whatever. But it's like, get out of
There's
your head.
angst going on in
There
there.
is.
I mean,
There's so
there's
many
a
layers.
lot going
So
on.
many more layers than you.
And so it's like you
You
might listen
think.
to like 90s grunge and hear all you remember is the big chorus, right? With the screaming
Right.
vocals. But remember, there's poetry, there's emotion, there's vulnerability. You know, I think that's why cats like, you know, Kurt Cobain is one of the greatest examples, but so many others, they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's not just power, you know, in your
Right.
face all the
Right.
time. Don't get me wrong, like there's bands that do that amazingly, and I also
I've got Blur
appreciate-
song 3 stuck in my head all of a sudden
Oh,
because all I hear is the
nice.
woohoo. But it's like when you
Yeah.
listen to the lyrics of that song, you're like, oh no, there's a lot going on there too. And now you guys get to do
Yes.
the same thing. You know,
he's
like
one of my favorites.
it's a great song. But it's like, you know, that's like you talk about the build and the payoff. That's one of those songs where you just want to jump up and down and scream yoo-hoo. But they're talking about serious things in that song too.
Right.
Now you get to share that. And, you know, in your own way, you get to kind of create the same thing too, which I think is pretty cool. And the fact that you get to do it together just makes it even that more special. We've got about time for maybe 2 more songs. So I'm going to zip my lip and we're going to jump in so the Jam Happy Hour can appreciate more of
2 more
Volores
songs.
here. What would
do
you
it.
like to play for us next?
I'm going to play the one that I wrote for my great grandmother. Her name was Genevieve. It's the title of the same name. She was very important to me, and she was tired. So I think this is
love
great next song.
Genevieve and the Jam Happy Hour.
Heavy lines and oxygen, wound and tied around a life well spent, body crafted carefully, standing still until about 93, and they're all gone, and they're all gone. Child, it has been my time. We all go it alone somewhere down the line. Just tell me when will I get mine? Just how long do I wait around to die? And they're all gone, and they're all gone, and they're all gone away. Here I come alive, here I come alive, never gone away. Life has taken much away. The blood and care have long read death gets. How much longer must I wait? How much time until I see his face? And they're all gone, and they're all gone, and they're all gone away. Here I come alive, here I come alive, never gone away. Here I come alive, and in a single night, decade to the day, decade to the day. And they're all gone, and they're all gone.
those off.
That's good.
Oh,
That was great, Genevieve. Here in the Jam Happy Hour. That it's such a good song, and I obviously can tell there's like a big story behind it. And when you have those influences in your life, and so much. We need another hour.
I know, right?
Well, let's do it. This is a lot of fun for us. So
Mm-hmm.
let's
While
do
you're
it.
sipping on your buttercab, I'm going to remind everybody, Valores is heading out on the road. They're touring throughout most of July now. So you're going to be on the road for the next few weeks. If you happen to be in Oregon, Washington, Utah, Colorado, LA, Vegas, like definitely look into it, valoresband.com. And if you've been enjoying the music, please add them again into your playlist and share them with all your friends. Like I'm texting away here with my friends like, oh my God, they're
Thank you.
amazing. So this is, you're doing it. You're doing it. Like the baby is out into the world, and we're just thrilled to be a part of it. And thank you so much for being a part of the Jam Happy Hour. We do have time for one more song.
Perfect.
How would you like to close this beautiful afternoon, evening happy hour of music with us?
With our title track, Ages, which was actually really big out on KVYN in Napa. And we got played a bunch on 99. Is it 99.3 The Vine? 93.3 The Vine? I believe it's
That's
99.3.
so great.
Bob St. Laurent.
Yeah,
thank you
he was
so much for all your
fantastic.
love.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you.
Yeah, and so this is our title
That's so
track,
great.
Ages, and this one is just all about joy and fun in life. You
Joy,
gotta
fun, and
have
life.
you gotta have it. No matter what stage you're at, it's gonna feel like you don't know what you're doing, but I promise you, you know exactly what you're doing if you're just experiencing it.
I absolutely love it. And I love you guys. This is so fun. Ages in the Jam Happy Hour. Valores, it's all yours.
All right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
You're just 17, tongue-tied but seen, spotlight shine on bloodshot eyes of queens. It's how we make it through these ages. It's how we keep the straightest faces through all these ages. By the age 28, not the blood was taking shape. People change yet stay the same. It's how we make it through these ages. It's how we keep the straightest faces through all these ages. Ain't no doubt you've grown. 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 Woo! 61 comes too fast. Built for love, but not built to last. We complain, yeah, play the game, play the game. It's how we make it through these ages. It's how we keep the straightest faces. It's how we make it through these ages. It's how we keep the straightest faces through all all these ages, through all these ages.
That is about joy. That is about love. That is about all the beautiful things. And cheers to you on an amazing hour. You guys, thank you so much for sharing your talent and sharing your openness and obviously your love and your music. We look forward to watching Volores just continue to grow and grow and grow, and hopefully catch you live here soon. Wherever we are, you guys, make sure you're following along on their socials and adding to all of your favorite playlists to enjoy the music, because this feels like it's like a really special thing, and it's super exciting to be a small part of it. So thank you. Cheers for being here both.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you having us on.
Please stay in touch. Let's get together and finish off that
That buttercup, yeah,
yeah,
it's
right?
on.
Yes, yes.
Cheers. It's a date.
Yes.